What's going on, guys? Today we've got a 2018 Polaris RZR 1000. This is a Highlifter edition. This machine come in, battery's not getting charged, done had a voltage regulator and everything put on it, battery. So the stator is not putting that on it. I have a separate video up on it yet. Be sure to check that out if you want to know how to test it. So we're going to go through and show you how to replace the stator on one of these. So let's get started on it. So the stator is located on the passenger side, right here behind this cover. Get your crank sensor, you want to pull it off, and then you've got all these little bolts go around the whole stator cover on. Now there is a gasket on this. You want to try to be very careful because a lot of times you can reuse these gaskets. A lot of times you can if they don't tear and stuff at the bottom, especially. A lot of people reuse them, including myself. That is something that is heard of very, very often. A lot of people do that. So we're going to take our crank sensor loose and then start taking these bolts out. And then we'll be right back with y'all. There is going to be a plug that is located right back here. When I get to the plug, I'll point it out. Okay, so the plug is down here on the sway bar, zip tied to it, kind of hid out. So we'll have to undo it. It comes around and goes right into there. So we'll undo it before we remove it. Okay, so we did indeed get it off, and we got a damaged seal. So now we're going to have to clean all this off and put us a new seal on it. So right here is our problem. The stator is burned up right here. You can see the difference between all the rest of them. So if y'all are looking for parts and stuff, and seals and gasket maker and silicone and all that good stuff, cleaner, all that stuff will be listed down in the description below, so don't forget to check that out. I'll have everything listed to do the job on a machine exactly like this. If that's what you're looking for, everything will be down in the description below. Don't forget to check that out, so you ain't got to be hunting for it and doing a bunch of searching and make sure you get the right stuff. But that right there is where this can burn up at, and that explains exactly why it was not charging. Most of the time on a job like this, which this customer's already done it, they've replaced the voltage regulator. Most of the time I replace the voltage regulator and the stator at the same time. To me, they work hand in hand, regulating the power and stuff that goes to everything. You know, that could have been what caused this. So yeah, I know it cost a little bit more, but sometimes I think you stay a step ahead of the game because you don't want to be back in here doing this again. So if you're going to do this, put your regulator in it as well. So now let's get all this cleaned off and this cleaned off, and we'll be back with y'all. Okay, so we got our gasket, our old one, cleaned off. We'll get everything pretty much cleaned off this. So now it's time to take our old stator out and put our new one in. So we're going to remove these three and you got 2 right here, and then this just pulls out. You want to make sure you pay attention to how this wire goes so you can put your new one in just exactly the way this is. So make sure you pay attention to how this is set and everything as the way yours is, so you know how all this goes, and it all bolts down exactly the same so everything stays out of the way. So now that we've got everything off and loosened, we're just gonna pull. Our stator is loose. Pull this off. I'm gonna pick it up and I'm gonna flip it toward me. And by doing that, you can see that this one and that one now are the same, facing the same way and everything. So now I'm just gonna pick my new one up and flip it away from me. Sorry, this is a bit trying to do with just one hand. There. And now, just like this one here, you may have to adjust your grommet down just a little bit, just depending. As you can see, this one here has been adjusted down. Right here, it's been pushed into this protective boot. And this one here is not pushed all the way down, so it's going to have to be pushed in. So we're going to do that now. Now, I like to put just a smudge of silicone between the grommet and this. I use Honda Bond. That's my go-to stuff unless I'm doing something else, because this is what Honda uses to glue their cases and stuff together. I use this on all my transmission work, motor work, unless I'm doing something that I need something thicker. This stuff is runny. I have this listed down in the description as well with the rest of these parts, so be sure to check that stuff out. This stuff is, in my opinion, phenomenal. So I'm going to put just a small amount right here, nothing too drastic, to get that set, and then I'm going to bolt this down, and then we're going to set our gasket. Now that we've got everything bolted back down like it was, now I'm going to take my sealer and put just a small thin layer around this. I'll put my gasket down, and then I'll put another small thin layer on it, and then we'll bolt it on to our machine. Now that we got our gasket maker and everything on there, now it's time to put it onto our machine and get it bolted back on. Alright guys, once you got through tightening everything up, be sure to plug yours back up right there. It's over there on the sway bar right there. That's where this one is located. You did lose just a little bit of oil, so be sure to check that. If you're looking for the parts and stuff to do this, check down in the description below. We got one less thing to do, and that is to check and see if it is charging. Okay, so get you a multimeter, and that's what we got ours set on. Let's read voltage. Without the machine running, we've got 12.4. So now we're going to crank it. 13.6 at idle is pretty good. It will go up if you rev it up. I've only got me myself here today, so I cannot operate this and camera and the gas pedal. But this does indicate that it is charging because it is showing more than 12.4. So indeed the stator was bad on this machine, and what we done fixed our issue. So if you find videos like this helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel, and we'll catch you guys in the next video.